everybody? Welcome to another episode of FAQOV with your host, Phil Freeman, where I answer all of your questions having to do with singing and speaking and using your voice in a happy and healthy way. And thank you so much for your patience and your love and support as I go through this time with my family. My mother is on hospice care, as you may have heard in the latest video that I posted before the one I posted here. And given that things are stable, things are manageable enough that I finally feel comfortable to get started with this again. And I'm so happy to be back. So thank you again for your patience. And here it goes. Let's answer the question. This comes from Kimberly, and it has to do with tension. She is experiencing tension in her diaphragm and in her face. And she's wondering if that's a good thing or not, because she's been told by her voice coaches that she should be completely relaxed. And relaxation is a very important thing, but it's important to acknowledge what should be relaxed and stretch tension. If there's one word that I want you to take away from today's video, Kimberly, and everyone else watching this video, take away stretch tension. It's going to save you from a lot of headache and of a lot of confusion. So let's talk about this. The places that are going to feel tense while you're singing, or you might feel some type of tension, are usually in your upper body, in your diaphragm, in your abdominal muscles, your chest, and your mask, your face. You may feel a little bit of stretch when you go up for a high note, or when you're really elongating the jaw and getting a big vowel out, and your tongue. There's a lot of stretching that's happening. It's a lot of ebb and flow. And I want you to think of the movement of your face and your diaphragm like the movement of waves. Think of a big tidal wave coming in. There's fast little things happening on the top, but there's this huge slow movement that's happening, and it's consistent, and then it draws back, and then it comes back, and there's always some type of movement. Even though it might be slow, there's always something going on. And I want you to think of your diaphragm and your face in the exact same manner. The stretch tension, the stretch, the back and forth. It should feel good. Almost like yoga or stretching right before you work out. It should be a cathartic feel. If you are feeling the opposite, if it feels stiff, if you are setting your diaphragm, setting your abdominal muscles, and they are staying put, that is an issue that needs to be addressed. Same with the face. If it's staying in one place, or if it's moving too quickly back and forth, that will cause stiff tension to occur, which will lead to injury, which will lead to pressure, which will lead to things that you don't want to have in your voice. You want to release the stiff tension, because the stretch tension, the ebb and flow, it keeps things moving. You may feel tired after a long night of singing, but you should feel... it should be a good tired. For those of you who have been to the beach and have been in the water for hours on end, it should be a feeling, at least in my personal experience, anytime that I've ever been out doing something that I love to do, like go out and bodyboard or go out and swim for a while at the beach, I feel exhausted at the end of the day, but I'm like, oh my gosh, sleep is so good. I can't wait to go out there and do it again. It shouldn't feel like, oh my God, my life is ending. I'm stiff here. I'm stiff everywhere. I never want to do this again. Ah! And like you feel like your world is crumbling. That should not be the feeling that you get after singing. So it should feel good. It should feel therapeutic. So given that, let's also talk about the places that you shouldn't feel tension the majority of the time. And that is the place that is usually most acknowledged while singing, which is the larynx, which is the vocal cords, which is everything that's going on here. So I want you to think of it like this. Whenever you go out and do cardio, if you go out and exercise, do you think about your heart a lot? Do you like check in with your pulse like every second? No. That's probably the answer to that question, with minor exceptions. You don't pay attention to your heart all the time. It's doing everything on its own perfectly fine for the most part, and unless you have a health issue or something like that, it's not something that you acknowledge while you're exercising it. When you go out and run, though, when you're concentrating on the arms and the legs and the way that you're moving your body, or if you're doing some type of aerobic exercise or even weightlifting, you're paying attention to everything around your heart. You're paying attention to everything that's contributing to the health of your heart, but you're not acknowledging the source of it because it's working perfectly fine on its own. I want you to think of your larynx in the same way. I want you to acknowledge everything else that's happening around it, so that way you don't find yourself stiffening up out of anxiety that you're not doing it in the right way. rather than paying attention to it and putting so much energy on this, it's so much better to acknowledge what's going on around it, and will lead to the stretch tension to occur rather than the stiff tension, and lead to a much better experience singing overall. So given that, Kimberly, I hope that answers your question. I hope that gives you a little more clarity as to what's happening and what you should be looking for while you're singing, and it also enriches your experience and the experiences of the other people that are watching this video. And again, thank you so much, everyone, for your patience. I know it's been a while since I've posted something here, and I hope to be able to post more consistently here in the future. And again, always remember, practice makes progress. Stay warm. It's freaking cold up here in Pennsylvania, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, go and find your voice. See you later.